Welcome to Picks and Parlays for December the 13th, 2019. I'm your host, Nick Geber. Find me on Twitter at Nick Geber, Nickgeber. I'd like to wish everyone a very happy Indonesian Nusantara Day. Well, we're all frankly quite exhausted from all the Nusantara celebrations that have been going on around here. However, we're not too exhausted for us to give you a whole boatload of free picks here over the next hour or so on the show. We are broadcasting live on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network, also streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. If you'd like to find us, very simple. Just put hashtag Parlay Radio or search any one of our social media platforms. If you fill in the comments section, well, we'll see it here in the studio and we'll put it up on the screen and we'll bring you into the show. Here's what we got today. Coming up in the first segment, I'm going to do one of my favorite segments with our star handicapper, Al Capone at Ninos. We're going to talk English Premier League football. We've got three great matches for you, including a little MNF for you. Then Chip Chirimbes will join us. We're going to talk NBA and college basketball. We're going to talk Pelicans Sixers, Lakers Heat, Clippers T-Wolves, and for college basketball, Nebraska, Indiana. And then our really popular segment, we're going to get right to it. We're going to do a little NFL Rapidfire as we get ready for the weekend of NFL football. I'll be joined by Sean Higgy, Smalls, Higgs, and Tony L.T. Gray, Tellez. We're going to break down the Dolphins, Giants, Steelers, Eagles, Redskins, Jags, Raiders, Browns, Cardinals, Rams, Cowboys, Falcons, Niners, Bills, Steelers. Oh, I'm positively out of breath after all that. And you will be too after we give you all of these free picks. The NFL Rapid Fire segment is 14 minutes to build your bankroll. So if you have a pen and a paper, you may want to get ready for that. That's going to be coming up the last segment of the show. All right, that's what we got on tap today. Just a reminder, currently on our website, picksandparlays.net, we have an incredible holiday sale for you. That's right, 15% off everything on the site. Fill up your basket, you greedy little boys and girls. That's right, with all those pick goodies, expert picks. We're going to give you 15% off. Use a promo code GIFT. All right, I'm going to step aside, gather my thoughts. Well, I'll be quite honest, I'm going to gather my thought. I'm not having too many of them these days. And I'll be right back with Al Capone and Ninos. Don't go anywhere. All right, thanks for sticking with us here on Picks and Parlays. I'm Nick Geber. Twitter me at Nick Geber, Nickgeber. I promised you some football European style, so let's not waste any time. Let's get right to it. Bring in my friend, star handicapper, Al Ninos. Al, you ready to talk some Premier League football with me?
Always ready.
All right. Well, I tell you what, Al, let's start, shall we? We've got three really nice matches here. I want to start with Burnley, Newcastle. This one's at Turf Moor, Burnley at home. By the way, if you're confused, football, global football, soccer is done with the home team always goes first. I know it's kind of reversed here. So here is Burnley, Newcastle, means it's at Turf Moor, means Burnley are home. Burnley 13th in the table. Newcastle couple spots above them, 11. This is a mid-table clash by any different definition of that. Burnley have lost their last three games, though, to Palace, City, and Spurs. And while they probably weren't expected to win those, they have conceded 11 goals in those three games, and that's of concern, and that's very unusual for a Sean Dyche team. They have also scored 1 goal in the last 3 games. So scoring a problem, conceding goals a problem. Admittedly, the quality of the teams they're playing a little bit higher than maybe the Newcastle. Newcastle, they've only lost 1 in the last 5 with wins against Sheffield, Southampton and Bournemouth. And of course, that incredible point they picked up with that very unlikely draw against Man City. Look, I think Newcastle have righted the ship. They've got a decent squad. They've got great supporters. They've got a good manager. I actually, for this one, for me, Al, I'm smelling draw right now. Burnley plus 108, Newcastle plus 290, plus 243 for the draw. We've got 2.5 goals. I think 243 for the draw. I'm probably going to take that all day long.
Yeah, again, that's a great bet. I wouldn't be surprised if this one ended in a draw at all, but I do like what I'm seeing out of Newcastle lately, and I'm just going to take them plus the half goal, and that's minus 114, and cash if we draw, and cash in case they pull the little upset off.
Yeah, you see, look, here's the thing, Al. You're a much smarter sports bettor than I am. I get the sniff, and then I just go for it. And, it's fine. You're going to hedge. You're going to do all the right things you should do as a sports bettor. For me, I just look at this plus 243 number. I'm thinking new Ferrari. I don't know. Looks good to me. I like the draw. I also, by the way, wouldn't be terribly surprised if Newcastle went to Turf Moor and won this one also. So
Right.
that wouldn't knock me backwards off the seat either. The question is, it's going to be a score draw. I think this is going to be a 1-1. That's my pick on it.
Yeah, and again, can't blame you for going for the big payout. Nothing wrong with going for that either.
All right, let's next up, let's talk about another match. This one on Saturday. It's Wolverhampton Wanderers against Tottenham Hotspur. This one at Molineux, Tottenham away. Wolves, by the way, what a great story this season, continuing on their success of last season. It looked really shaky earlier. They have only lost 2 games all season, and they had that disastrous early season start that saw them only get 4 points out of 18. They were really being draw specialists early on in the season, and that landed them in the drop zone. Lots of discussion about it, of course, about what they were going to do, change a manager. But now they're unbeaten since the middle of September in the last 11 games. But however, they don't beat the biggest teams, which they don't have to, by the way. So if they're beating teams that are underneath them and they're not necessarily beating the teams above them, Spurs, now that they've got Jose Mourinho, they're back on form, and I would suggest to you Spurs probably one of those teams that they probably won't beat. I really like what Mourinho's done in taking this existing squad and reinvigorating them, breathing a little life into them. They're 3-0-1 since the special one took over. They put 5 past Burnley over the weekend, and they look ready to fight for top 4 position. However, let's be honest, Wolves, not Burnley. I got Wolves plus 238, Spurs plus 120, the draws plus 291, 2.5 goals is the consensus. I'm just going to give you what I got, Al, then I want to hear your take. I'm going to take the away team. I'm going to take Spurs on this one, plus 120, and I'm going to say over. I don't know what it pays, but I'm going to take the over on it.
Yeah, so as you're saying, both teams playing real well right now, and I do expect both teams to score in this one. So if your book does offer that bet, that's a pretty good one there too. I do also like Tottenham, and if I had to pick a side, but my favorite play definitely out of the 3 is the over in this one. I have to agree with you on your picks, but yeah, definitely my favorite play is the over. Then I'd go both teams to score, and then thirdly I'd go
Yeah, like the little prop bet, both teams to score, right?
Yeah, I do like it in this one. Yeah.
I mean,
the Wolves have been playing some great soccer too, so I mean, I think they do get to score in this one.
Oh, for sure. It's 2-1, it's 3-2. I mean, those are the 2 score lines I see here. So either one will put you in heavy over territory. So good stuff. And lastly, I know everybody's been waiting eagerly to hear it because it's such a popular event here in the United States. Monday Night Football, of course, except I'm talking about Crystal Palace, Brighton Hove Albion at Selhurst Park. Different type of Monday Night Football for you, I know, but that's what we're talking right now. Palace have settled into the season nicely at this point. Roy Hodgson, Unky Roy, he's not exciting, he's not trendy, he's not hip. He is a very, very steady hand, though. They're doing what they need to do. Speaking about beating teams that they should, this is exactly what Crystal Palace are doing. Their losses this season have come to Spurs, Man City, Chelsea, Leicester, and Liverpool. They did have that really disappointing draw at Vicarage Road last week against Watford, which was a bit of a surprise. But this is at Selhurst Park. I really like them at home, particularly guys like Louis Zaha, really wanting to, showcase themselves with the January window opening up. Brighton have been a bit all over the place this season. Graham Potter, he's got a decent squad. They're not great. They're 2-1-5 on the road away from the Amex. Palace opened at plus 118. They're at plus 153 now, I saw. I'm going to take that because I think Palace, home team, are going to win. I'm actually going to take 2-0 Palace. Total goal consensus on this is 2.5, so that will be an under. Al, far away.
So Palace coming off that disappointing 0-0 draw to Watford, of all teams, after a 2-2 wins though. So I do expect them to bounce back after that little disappointing draw there. And but Brighton's also been playing a bit better lately. And they got their payback against Arsenal. That's a pretty decent win for them.
Yeah.
They managed to get the draw against the Wolves. That's also not a bad result there. And but still, all that being said, I still don't think they're as good a team as Palace, and I do like the plus money with Palace here. I'm not sure I see a 2-0 win here, but
No.
I think it might be a bit closer than that.
Okay.
But
are you
yeah,
thinking
like
are you thinking like 1-0, or you think actually Brighton are going to score, make it 2-1, in which case it will be heavy over territory?
That's tough. The way these two teams have been playing lately, maybe a 1. I don't know, 1-0, maybe 2. And yeah, I'm not crazy about the under 2.5. That's pretty low for an under for me.
Yeah,
and
well, it
I
is,
think
but
it's pretty
neither of these
juiced
teams
that way too. Because
Right.
I don't think the Bucks expect many goals to be scored in this one. That's for sure.
By the way, Crystal Palace have actually conceded fewer goals than Manchester City this season. So, they are defensively a very, very strong team. Brighton having a little bit of trouble scoring too. They're not scoring a whole bunch of goals. So yeah, I'm just not seeing a goal fest here at all, which is why I said take the under. But I think you pointed out to me before the show that there's no value really in the under right now, right?
No, it is very juiced to the under. I think I saw that at minus 153. So yeah. Whereas Palace plus 159 sounds like a much better bet to me.
Yeah, it's 159 now, and that is getting juicier as we go along. Right, so there you have it. Those are our picks. If you want to find out more, you can always listen to me because I'm on the air every day on Sirius XM 211, Dan Patrick Sports, bringing you Premier League football 5 days a week on national syndicated radio. Also, of course, Sports Byline Network as well. And you can find Al Ninos at our website, picksandparlays.net. He's there all the time. Get his picks. I recommend them highly. Go pick up Al's picks right now. Load up your shopping basket with his expert picks, and you can get 15% off. Use promo code GIFT. Okay, when we come back, I'm a little hungry. What better way to assuage the burning hunger than having a big chicken dinner? Coming up next, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Chip Chirimbes will join me. We're going to talk NBA and college basketball. And let me tell you, Chip, he's hot right now. You're going to want to listen to this one. Picks and Parlays, Nick Geber. I'll be right back after this. We're going right now. All right, welcome back. Picksandparlays.net. I'm your host, Nick Geber, here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network, where we are each and every weekday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. on the left coast, and we stream live throughout the day at picksandparlays.net and also on our YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter accounts. If you want to find us there, very easy, just hashtag Parlay Radio or search us in the search box and you will find us. And if you want to participate on the show, what better way than to fill out the comments section, and we'll see it here in the studio and put it up on the screen and respond to it, provided it's not too rude. Now, some rude is okay. Too rude, definitely out of the question. Once again, I'd like to wish everyone a happy Indonesian Nusantara Day. Been a big day of celebrations here around the Picks and Parlays office and the Picks and Parlays family. We're all quite well imbibed and lubricated. And let's talk. Coming up right here, I have our good star handicapper, Chip Chirimbes. We're going to talk a little NBA and college basketball. Chip, you're on fire these days. Doing well.
Well, I'm hitting with my best bets, which is the way to go, and that's where I hang my hat. 5-2 in college basketball right now. And tomorrow, meaning today, there's another big winner for us in NCAA action. Yeah,
we're going to talk Nebraska, Indiana, but let's hold off on that one, shall we? Let's take care of the NBA first, and we're going to deal with the two LA teams and the team from New Orleans. Shall we do that first?
We'll do the New Orleans.
Let's talk about the Pelicans Sixers. The Pelicans 6-19, 9-16 against the spread. They're 0-10 straight up. Look, this is the worst streak right now in the NBA, period. They're 2-10 on the road this season, 3-9 against the spread on the road as well. Derek Favors is likely to join Darius Miller and Zion Williamson on the sidelines for this game. And the Sixers, a little bit of a different situation. They're 18-7, playing some really nice basketball this season. They're 11-13-1, 8-2 straight up, most recently a 97-92 win against the Nuggets. Perfect. 13-0 at home, Chirimbes.
Yes, they are.
And Al Horford, though. Al Horford is a doubt for this game, but I don't think they're going to need him.
No, you know, this is a mismatch of great proportions here. We have New Orleans not only on a 9-10 game losing streak, they've lost 7 in a row against the number, Nick, and 9-16 against the points, and they've been getting generous points all year. Still, they're waiting for Zion Williamson to come back. They don't know when he's going to be making it back at all. And in spite of all this, New Orleans against this Philly team is 3-1-1 against the points in the last 5 meetings, and I'll tell you why. Nick, a lot of this, Joel Embiid has been taking a lot of crap. We said this because he just doesn't seem to give the effort out every single night. The problem with this matchup is Embiid said he was going to make his mark against the Celtics Thursday night. So the Philly's coming off a big game, a really important game at Boston, and they're 3-8 against teams that are under 500. They just don't seem to get up to play the big games.
They don't rise to the level.
Right, exactly. They keep it, and this is where they've been. Why they're 11-12 against the points. Like I said, 18-7 straight up, and that's a perfect example of what they do when they play lesser teams. They just don't get over the number.
And you just mentioned two teams I love to watch in the NBA right now in the East, which is of course the Celtics. And the Sixers are a lot of fun to watch as well.
Well,
when they're playing a good team, you get a lot of fun.
Well, I just love this Joel Embiid. I love his attitude. 2 years ago or 3 years ago when they were babying him because his foot, he had foot injuries. And he said, let me play basketball. And that's what we want because so many guys are taking days off all the time. They give him rest periodically as well because he is kind of fragile at 7'2" or whatever he is. He's a big, big man.
All right, now I didn't have a line on this one.
There isn't a line as of yet because of the Philly-Boston result. We don't have it as of yet.
Right.
And they're probably going to have to wait tomorrow anyway to see if there's any implications of whether Embiid's going to play 2 nights in a row, whether Simmons is going to play. This Philadelphia team has this roster in and out and off the bench all the time.
The question is, though, you say they play up to the opposition. I mean, the Pelicans aren't scoring a great deal, which I'm not expecting them to do. The Sixers aren't going to exactly rack it up. So, is that going to be factored into the total points, or is this one you may want to look the under on?
It certainly will, but you really don't know right now because we don't know what that total is going to be. And I like to see the number and interpret what the odds makers are trying to tell us as opposed to trying to predict and beat the odds maker in another way. There's more than one way to skin a cat, and I like to see the number first.
I don't skin any cats.
No, I don't like cats.
Very cruel and unusual. Okay, by the way, let's move on. My favorite team, I'm a Lakers fan. Let's talk Lakers Heat. The two, by the way, speaking of two great teams, you've got two of them right here. The Lakers right now, hottest team in basketball as we speak, 23-3. They're 16-9 against the spread. 9-1 in the most recent outing was a 96-87 victory over Orlando. because they're in Florida right now doing the Florida thing. 6-4 against the spread, lost 10 away from Staples Center. And Rob, by the way, solid as always. Oh, I don't know if he's talking about you, if he's talking about the Lakers, the Pelicans, or the Sixers, but if he's talking about me, I'm always solid, Rob. Okay, Rajon Rondo, Kyle Kuzma, they are day-to-day. And you know what? When you're playing a team like the Heat, you want as many of your guns as you can get, because the Heat's 18-6. They are on a 3-game losing streak. We'll give them that, right?
Against the points.
Yeah, right. And they're including a 135-121 loss to the Hawks. They're 11-0 at home, though. This is
By the way,
yeah,
they won that game against the Hawks.
they won it against.
They
Hawks,
scored
yeah.
the last 22
right.
points in that game. I had Atlanta, my loser.
And
they were up. It happens.
Yeah.
And they were up 6 points with less than a minute to go. And I was getting 8.5, 9, and lose the game by 14 points in overtime. Miami had a great comeback, scoring 22 straight points.
And they're perfect at home.
They are 11-0 at home.
And no, Dragic is out. Winslow and Tyler Herro are likely out. That's not helpful, though.
Well, as long that's not going to help them. But they've got great coaching in Miami. I mean, Jimmy Butler's there doing a great job there. He's really filled in and meshed with the rest of the club. This Laker team has won 12 straight on the road. They've won 15 of their last 16, and you're talking about Kuzma or this guy or that guy being out. As long as you've got LeBron James running the show and you got Anthony Davis healthy, this Laker team is going to be in every game this season. They're 22-3 on the year, Nick, after having a horrible season, not even making the playoffs
Let me tell you, after struggling through the last few years of Lakers basketball, it's wonderful to see it. Look, I just like watching good basketball.
So do I.
I mean, it is an exciting, high-paced, high-scoring, never-stopping sport. At the end of the game, there's a lot of technical stuff that goes on. But it's a load of fun. So let's move along to the next one. Speaking of exciting basketball, we're talking about the Los Angeles Clippers, 19-7, 15-11 against the spread. They're 8-2, coming off a 112-92 victory over the champion Raptors, which was a great result for them.
Right.
They're mixed on the road, though, Chip. 6 of their 7 losses have come away from L.A.
Yes.
Patrick Beverley is doubtful for this game. The total's gone under in 4 of 5 for them. For the Timberwolves, they're 10-14, 7-14-1 against the spread. The Timberwolves yet to win in December. Ouch. The last outing was 116, 127 loss to the Jazz. They're 2-10 straight up. They've gone over, though, versus the Clippers, 6 of the last 7. Jake Layman out. I've got Clippers 5-point road favorites, 230-point total.
Yeah.
How do you see this one?
Okay, I'm going to tell you, I have looked at this game before we came here.
Yeah.
The 5.5 at the Clippers. And one thing that happens last night, we had the Clippers as our top play of the day, and they come up favored at Toronto. Toronto, the NBA champions. Toronto has one of the best records in the league. They haven't slipped at all, even without Kawhi Leonard. And the Clippers came up favored, a team that was under 500 on the road entering that game. So we took the Clippers. They may have a little setback here after a big win against a team that they knew they were geared up to play. But they are 21-9, Nick, as a road favorite. That's 70% on the road in the last 30 games. And at Minnesota, they've gone 12-4-1.
Are they going to cover?
Well,
It's 5 points,
the number's suspect, and I'll tell you what. There's maybe another way to go in this game is that the Clippers have been playing over. This 231 tells me that they're really an offensive juggernaut. Minnesota's last 5 games have gone over, and the 6 of the last 7 between the Clippers and the Timberwolves has gone over the total.
That's what I go. Yeah.
So I'm thinking that as opposed to trying to beat the Clippers by taking a team that's that bad, it might be able to beat the point spread by going over the total.
On the other hand,
Go ahead.
the total's gone under for the Clippers in 4 of the last 5.
Well, on the other hand, I
take
had 5
that
fingers
coin.
until I got it caught in the garage.
All right, let's move on. College basketball, we got 3 minutes. Nebraska at Indiana, the Cornhuskers, 4-5, 3-6 against the spread. 4-5 so far on the season, 0-2 on the road, 0-2 on the road, as well as against the spread. Nebraska edges the last 10 meetings between these two, 6-4. They're 0-9 against the spread, the last 9 on the road. Getting the against the spread notion.
No, imagine that. Imagine that.
Indiana, though, 9-1, 7-3 against the spread. They've been perfect so far, other than that loss to Wisconsin. 8-0 straight up, 7-3 against the spread at home. They've gone over in 7 of the last 10. Hoosiers, wow, 16-point favorites, 151.5 points.
You know, and it's justified. 149, like you said, it's a total. Their lone loss was to Wisconsin, a conference game. They are 9-1, 1-1 in the conference. This is the opening conference game for the Cornhuskers. Their leading scorer, Nick, scores 12.6 points a game. That's the top scorer for the Cornhuskers. And like you said, they're on such a terrible run against the points. They've only covered 3 of their last 11 on the road getting points. And usually that's a time when you may not have to win a game, but the points will compensate and you may be able to get under the number.
It's so funny, by the way. You know, as sports bettors, you know, obviously against the spread, playing against the points is really, really important. But, you know, just as a sports fan, okay, if your team is not making the spread, there's a problem with the team. So you're just looking beyond sports betting here.
Yes.
And it's a fascinating way to look. This is not just betting terminology we're talking here.
Right.
You need to look because this is what the consensus says this team should, given their parts and pieces as a whole, this is what they should be doing. And if they're not doing it, well, it's not just one result or two on an unlucky draw. There's a problem with the team. Well, you know, something this consistent, there's a problem.
First off, you know, Nebraska's now playing in the Big Ten. They used to be in the Big 12 and Southwest Conference. They had a little bit easier road to hoe. This Big Ten has some great basketball this year. I mean, Michigan State are really good. Wisconsin's always tough. Minnesota's on the rise. And Indiana, who's been in the doldrums for a period of time. I mean, Indiana used to control college basketball when you had Bobby Knight and it was UCLA. Those days are gone. But at 9-1, 8-0 at home. 8-0 at home. Oh, there you go with the Bruins. We're not talking football, folks. We're talking basketball. But Indiana, I think, is going to lay 16.5. And I don't know if Nebraska has a prayer. Nebraska does have a home game. They're hosting Purdue on Sunday. They may think they have a better chance of dealing with Purdue than they do with Indiana.
All right, Chip Chirimbes, always a pleasure. Thank you so much. You can find Chip's picks at picksandparlays.net. And right now we have a special 15% off. Use promo code GIFT. Go gift yourself a whole bunch of Chips picks. You will do yourself a favor and really build your bankroll. Coming up the next 3 hours, I'll be waxing poetically, giving you the whole history of UCLA basketball. No, okay, just kidding. Coming up next, we're going to do NFL Rapid Fire. Sean Higgy Smalls Higgs and Tony El Tigre Tellez will join me. Be right back.
So tell me, why is UCLA your
Chip,
yeah.
Welcome back to the show, Picks and Parlays, here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. Also, streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. You can find us there. We do stream live throughout the day as well, so if you'd like to pick up some extra tips and extra picks, what a great place it is to go. Well, I promised you 14 minutes. It'll build your bankroll, so I'm not a liar. Not this Indonesian Nusantara Day. You never lie during Nusantara Day. That's just one of the requirements. So let's do some NFL Rapid Fire. Joining me, star handicappers Tony El Tigre Tellez and Sean Higgy Smalls Higgs. Gentlemen, we're ready to do some NFL football?
I thought we were ready. I'm totally. I got the wrong notes. I thought we were on cricket today. I'm sorry.
No, we're going to do. Well, okay. Let's start then. Monday.
I thought it was snooker. Was it snooker?
Crystal Palace at Brighton. No, the Monday night. Yeah,
Darts?
That's the Monday night game. No, let's not do that. All right, let's start, shall we? Here we go.
Curling.
NFL Rapid Fire. Going to kick it off, shall we? Jaguars at Raiders. Jaguars 4-9, 5-8 against the spread. Raiders 6-7, 6-7 against the spread. Jags lost 5 in a row. Raiders 3 in a row, including that 21-24-42 loss to the Titans. Let's start. I got Raiders favorites, 6-point favorites, total 45.5. Higgy, you're up first.
Right out of the gate, you go to my game that I can't give a side on. I got on the site. Top short shot on this game on Sunday. I can't even get into it with you right now. Right out of the gate, I told you that was my game.
Well, we've got your silence out of the way then. Okay, LT Gray, roar, my friend, roar.
All right. We're going to go here with the Jags and Raiders to go over a total of 45.5. These are two defenses in miserable form. Past 3 games up. The Jaguars giving up 437 yards, 38 points a game. They've been pounded by well over double digits past 5 games, giving up a lot on the ground. I know there's a lot of focus here on how bad the Jaguars are, but the Raiders' defense has been atrocious in the past 3 games. 404 yards allowed, 389 passing, 66% completion rate. You know, I know it's been tough for the Jaguars, but you know what? Sometimes you can lick your chops against a bad defensive team. And one thing about Gruden, I think he's more focused on the offense. He likes to win shootouts. It doesn't bother him when he wins games like, 38-31. He walks away with a smile on his face. Well, really good head coaches are kind of upset the defense. He's satisfied with the win. Let's go Jacksonville and Oakland over a total of 45.5.
Okay, next up, the fraud against the Duck. That's right, we're talking the Buffalo Bills against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Why the fraud, I say? Well, they've only faced 3 teams with winning records. They are 9-4, 8-4-1 against the spread. And why the Duck? Well, we know about Duck Hodges. He's 3-0 straight up and against the spread, although he's averaging only 165 passing yards with 3 TDs, 2 interceptions. Higgy, you were ruled ineligible the last selection. Why don't we start with you right now? Higgy Smalls. Go.
All right, Nick said that. Well,
go.
You start meeting Tony. What's really sad is that you got 2 coaches here, McDermott and Tomlin, who nobody's expecting much out of. They're not going to either coach of the year considerations because of what Shanahan and Harbaugh are doing, putting up huge numbers. Sad. I mean, 2 great coaching jobs here. But looking at this game, we see Buffalo, nice 4-1-1 run as a underdog this season. I don't know. What I'm really looking at here is the total, 35.5. Are you kidding me? This is like old school football, 35.5. But as you mentioned, listen, we got
Has that
the
come
Duck
down?
Quarterback.
Because I was looking at 37.
Yeah, it was 37. It's 35.5 now.
Whoa, okay.
I mean, listen, Josh Allen is what he is, but I think both of these defenses are above average defenses. We've seen the Steelers, shut down average or worse quarterbacks. So listen, 16-10, 13-6. I don't think this game, 35.5, we're going under.
All right, T. Gray.
All right, I like this game a lot. Right now, it's my best play for Sunday. Pick it up over at picksandparlays.net.
Ruled ineligible. Okay, let's move along, shall we?
Well, 2 for 2, Nick. 2 for 2.
2 for 2. Well, we got them both out the way. Next up, the Rams at the Cowboys. The Rams 8-5, 9-4 against the spread on a nice little 2-game win streak. Actually, they're 5-2 with losses to the Steelers and the Ravens. The last 7, 4-2 away. Total's gone under in 7 of the last 8. And for the boys, 6-7, 7-6 against the spread. The wheels have come off for this season, I think, with this team. They're 3-7 with a 24-31 loss to the Bears last Thursday. Dak Prescott likely to make a return. I got Rams, 1-point favorite, 49 points. Okay, T. Gray, raw, buddy, you're up.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the Rams -1. I think that blowout loss to the Baltimore Ravens woke up this team. They've come out and pounded Arizona, had a really good showing against Seattle. That was the best look they've had all season. Those victories averaging 502 yards a game, you have seen improvement on that offensive line. You see an improvement in the run game. And when you have both those working together, that means Goff can be effective, and that's what's happening. They're running for 147 yards a game past 2. Of course, the Cowboys, a loss to Chicago. You lose to Mitchell Trubisky, that's pretty bad. And he did. And the Cowboys gave up 382 yards in that loss. And Trubisky, a huge game throwing the football. Past 3 games, Cowboys putting only 16 points a game. LA's beating them in 2 straight. Take LA Rams -1.
All right, Higgy.
This was a -3 Dallas opener on the opening line show, Tony, and now we got them as I see up to 2 in some spots as a dog. And listen, you let Darnold, Josh Allen, Trubisky all put points up on the board. Total's gone from 47 to 49. Goff's going to get his points, but I'm torn on this side play here because Dallas got extra rest. I mean, they're scoring more, not scoring teams by 70 points on the year, and you got revenge for the playoff game last year. So you think Dallas would be the play, but then all the money comes in the other way. Little nervous on the side here for either way, but I think the over is definitely in play. The way the Cowboys give up points, especially of late, I think Dallas is going to get their points at home in a desperate game for Garrett. I mean, he's used up all 9 lives. That guy's like a two-headed cat. He's got 18 lives in Dallas, but I'm going to go over to 49 here, and maybe a lean on Dallas in the desperate. But I can't do that. I'm just going to stick with the over here, 49. A lot of points on a Sunday afternoon.
All right, well, speaking of 49, let's do Falcons 49ers. How about that for a segue, by the way? Falcons 4-9, 5-8 against the spread. They're 3-7, although the last outing was a 40-20 win over the Panthers. 2-4 straight up and against the spread on the road. Total's gone under in 5 of 7 for them. The Niners 11-2, 4-1 against the spread. I mean, this is Beauty and the Beast. There's no denying it on this game. 8-2 in the last 10. Total's gone over in 5 of the last 7 for the Niners, so we've got an over on one and the under on the other. They're 5-1 at home. Actually, I'm surprised that the Niners are only 10.5-point favorites on this game. I know that sounds crazy, but, you know, the Falcons just aren't very good. Total points, though, 48. Let's start with you, Higgy.
You know, I see this some 11s and 11.5s in some spots of this game.
Okay.
So
well, there you go. Stand corrected.
You know, but they're all over. I mean, the shop around, you're gonna get different numbers. It's just the name of the game now with sports betting legalized in the States. So you're gonna get different numbers all over the place. But Atlanta, you know, 11.5, 10 even, 10.5. Atlanta's got decent offense. Number 7 offense in the league, even though they just lost Ridley. And the San Fran, listen, you played Seattle on the road to Baltimore. You know, tough game there. Then you go to New Orleans in a wild one. Here you come down to play a team with 4 wins, and you got the Rams and Seattle on deck, more important games. I think you got enough offense on the Falcons side where the back door is open for us. I'm going to take the points here. I'm taking the points.
Tony?
Yeah, I can't argue with Sean here, but I like the over a little better. Remember when Arizona caught the 49ers after some tough games? They were able to put some points up, and the 49ers woke up in the second half. I think we have a situation here where Atlanta can strike early, get some points, and, of course, the 49ers will get theirs. I like it over 48. Just as Sean said, there have been a lot of physical battles the 49ers have been into. Look at their back-to-back road games against the Ravens and Saints. That's a lot of hitting there with facing those two teams. And, you know, the 49ers at home have played to over in 3 of their past 4. We've talked about Atlanta's improvement offensively, coming off a win against Carolina last week. You know, we look at the past 4 road games for the Falcons: 29 at Carolina, 26 at the Saints, 33 at Arizona, 32 at Houston. Of course, the 49ers without Richard Sherman in the secondary. And we're going to go ahead here and take it over total of the 48 points.
All right, let's move along, shall we? Next up, Cleveland Browns versus the Arizona Cardinals. Cleveland 6-7, 5-7-1 against the spread, coming off their huge win in the Battle of Ohio. They're 2-4 straight up away and against the spread. Arizona midst of a 6-game losing streak, including a 17-23 loss to the Steelers. They're 3-4 against the spread at home. Browns favorites here, 2.5-point road favorites, total 49 points. I guess we're going to see some touchdowns. Let's start with you, Tellez.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and lay the points here with Cleveland -2.5. Arizona, of course, we talked about a 6-game losing streak. Really struggling putting points up there. Cardinals past 2 games averaging only 216 yards of offense, 12 points a game. There is some momentum here for Cleveland, winning 3 of their past 4 to get within 1 game of 500. They do want to finish the season with a winning record. And when you look here at the Browns, the defense holding opponents 21 points a game over their past 3. But the Arizona defense has just totally fallen apart in that 3-game span, giving up 422 yards, 31 points a game. They've given up 28 or greater points in 5 of their past 6. Cardinals offense 30th in the red zone with their offense 31st on 3rd down. I got to go ahead and take Cleveland here -2.5.
Higgy.
I'm on board here with Tony said. I mean, Arizona 6 straight losses. And again, what do you expect? You got a rookie quarterback. He might be hitting a little wall here. This is in college. You know, he's getting roughed up all the time here down in the NFL. And let's be honest, Cleveland's a little better. I hate their head coach, but talent-wise, this is a good team. They've been bad so long. They have talent on both sides of the ball. You know, they can't put it together like some teams can, but, there's really not much to say here. This is going to be an ugly game. Cleveland should win it. They still have basically an outside hope for a wild card. If, things break right, they got to do their own thing. So we'll take Cleveland -2.5.
All right, guys, 3 minutes, 2 games. Let's make this quick. Eagles, Redskins. Eagles 6-7, 4-9 against the spread. Skins 3-10, 6-7 against the spread. Eagles 4-point road favorites. Total points 39. Higgy, make it quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the home dog here. Even though 1-9 straight up, a 3-7 ATS from last 10, they battled these guys pretty good in Philly. And Philly, we've seen them. This is not a very good team. I don't think they should be laying points, even with Geis out. I'll take Redskins here for a shot.
Tony T.
I'm going to go ahead and take the Redskins. You can find 4, 4.5, and 5. The numbers all over the place, but the Redskins have won 2 of 3, covered their past 3. Notice here with the Philadelphia, short week, and they got a lot of injuries to their wide receiver position. All 4 are hurt right now.
All right, next up, 3-10 Miami against 2-11 Giants. Miami lost 12 of the last 13 on the road. Giants 0-9 straight up and 3-6 against the spread the last 9. I got Giants 3.5-point road favorites. Total points 48. Let's start with you, Tony. 2 minutes. So 1 minute for you, then 1 minute for Sean.
Go ahead and take Miami here plus 3.5. Dolphins covered 5 of their past 7. They're playing with a little bit more conviction, a little more purpose. These players want to play next year. Remember, you talk about tanking. You get about 6 draft picks. You need 22 starters, okay? Those 6 guys cannot play for you and start for you. So you need to find some talent here on this team, and the Dolphins are doing that. I don't want a Giants here on a short week. They've lost 9 straight. They blew a big lead against Philadelphia. That was a game they should have had with Eli coming back. Eli goes back. The clock's turned midnight here. Go ahead and take Miami plus 3.5.
All right, 30 seconds, Higgy.
Let's concur. 5 of 7 and 7 of 9 covers for Miami here. And listen, 7 field goals last week in this stadium. They'll punch one in against this Giant defense. Not as good as the Jets. Let's take Fitzmagic in Miami. Plus the points.
There you have it, guys. 7 NFL games for you in 14 minutes. We brought it to you. That's how you're going to build your bankroll. Sean Higgs and Tony Tellez. Always a pleasure, guys. Thank you so much. You can find Sean and Tony's picks on the website, picksandparlays.net. Listen, these are some of our best handicappers, and their expert picks are just sitting there waiting for you. And right now, 15% off. Use promo code GIFT. 15% off everything you will put in your basket. All right, in case you missed any of our picks today, never fear. Coming right up immediately after the very short break, we'll be recapping them all for you. So if you have a chance, run out, get a pen and paper. And if you're driving, do not get a pen and paper. You can always find the show on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook right after it's over, as well as at the Believe Podcast Network. All right, I'll be right back after this. Welcome back. Picks and Parlays, Sports Byline Broadcast Network, where we are every weekday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. We also stream throughout the day on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm your host, Nick Geber. We've had a lot of wonderful picks today. We had Al Ninos tonight talking Premier League football. We had, and me, by the way, not I. And we had Sean Higgs, Higgy Smalls. We had Tony LT Gray Tellez. And, of course, we had Chip Chirimbes here with their picks. Let's start with Al Ninos and I and me. Had some picks for you, and there we go. I'll get it right at some point. Okay, my picks. Crystal Palace, Brighton, take Palace plus 153. Wolves, Spurs, take Spurs plus 120. Burnley, Newcastle, take the draw plus 243. Al's, his picks. Burnley, Newcastle, he said, take Newcastle minus 115. All right, next up, Chicken Dinner was here. Here, Chip's NBA picks. Clips at Timberwolves, take the over 231.5, and his college basketball pick was Nebraska at Indiana. Take Indiana minus 16.5. And today's NFL picks, rapid fire. The Dolphins at Giants, take the Dolphins plus 3.5. These were Tony T's picks. Eagles at Redskins, take the Skins plus 5. Jags at Raiders, take the over 45.5. And Sean Higgs, his NFL picks. Rams at Cowboys, take the over 49. Falcons at Niners, take the Falcons plus 11. And the Bills at Steelers take the under 35.5. Lots of picks for you there, folks. Tons of picks. I hope you got a chance to get them all. If you didn't, don't worry. You can always find them. Go to our podcast network, BLEAV. Search for Picks and Parlays. You'll see it there. Or if you go to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, you will see this show replayed in all its glory. If you're listening to us on the Sports Byline Network, you can check us out on any of those online platforms and see my beautiful mug. In the meantime, I'll be back with you tomorrow. Same place, same time, same channel. Loads more picks. Be sure to stay with me. And until then, bet, win, repeat.